far west, familiar space, and as I know the Midwest mixes with Latin culture, I travel down this highway road, a river on the left side, scenic beauty. Start going up this winding mountain road. Midway to the top, I make a left, and there's a big opening. I come to this road, make a right turn to this beautiful estate. The lane leading up is about half a mile long. There are rocks and trees on both sides. The rocks and trees are old, a mix of passive and volatile images. I lead further down the path. To the house is a big front door, which is open slightly. I go in and see the red dress on the table, spaghetti high heels. The red dress is slightly torn, a big patriarch picture at the far end of this long table. When I look at this, I stare to see the lineage. There is some blood on the shoe and the back door. It leads to the woods, and it's extreme quiet. And there's always an overcast on this part of the mountain, but it never comes to fruition. My casted outline is being reeled back in so that I could whip it back behind my head and cast it back out even further. I'm feeling a lot of life and rejuvenation in the Midwestern home in the mountains. Light powdered blue mountain, reflecting in the water, trees along the road in a staggered formation, turning left on a curve in the road, depth to the forest with shadows covering the distance. A white Alp on the top of a mountain, surrounded by gray, puffy clouds, as if wandering in the same place. A shallow ditch covered in dead leaves blown onto it. An ascending road that covers bright, puffy clouds. In blue sky, off in the distance, shades of ember red on the brick. A light brown rock between the slabs of concrete. Dark red, almost brownish window frames. Scattered trees along the side, between the highway and the river. A dawn paints the waters a rippling purple. Small, consistent waves rise and fall. Brief shadows cast against the falling sun. Underneath each wave, they're like tiny caverns to be seen from a glimpse. The river pushes slowly downward, like a mop across a wet floor. A ridge on the far side of mud, and wet rock edging off from the fresh, rich grass. Concave mud with a paste, thickness, a fudge, brown sweetness to its nature. The rocks are white with gray and light blue scales all around it. Big rocks, but exhaust the image so that I don't have to go back to it. That's melodramatic. Exhaust it the first time. Pebble to a mountain, to big. Animal swoops down near the water. Dark brown auburn feathers coat the top with a light gray smoky color on its underbelly. An eye that in its light green, almost yellow iris illuminates like a jelly. A winter gray owl with black streaks that glimmer. A soft coat, but you feel some feathers that are torn. Streaks are like tiny tattoos of black thunderbolts. The trunks of the trees have spots of light brown, cream, dry, rough, but thin bark, beginning to curl out like a mosaic of painted wood chips glued on. The roots of the tree are visible before they go into the ground. Dark brown snaky bulges out of the earth with a thin layer of fluffy green fungus. Up close, they're tiny heads of flowers, still in their stalks. On the other side of the highway is deep forestry of shadows and trees. A tiger stands on all fours between the trees with thick, deep Orange stripes in between black stripes, peppered with light gray, stays motionless, seen from the passenger seat of the car I am driven in as it moves fast along the highway.